Hurts, slant, Brown, lunge, touchdown Philadelphia. A.J. Brown snatched it out of the air for the score. Checks wing, well hit ball, and there it goes. Number 300 for Ken Griffey Jr., one of the youngest ever in the major leagues to reach the 300 home run plateau.
Bothered by Lou. Iverson.
How about that?
Steps over Teron Lou.
7 straight points by Iverson.
Oh my goodness. Jesus. Final freaking lead. Oh my God. This is so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Jesus. Yo, I tell you, with technology, it's just crazy. It's unbelievable. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, finally, I can see myself. I'm going to have to figure out how to get this thing working with OBS, but can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? I'm going to have to figure out how to get this thing working with OBS, but can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2. Can you guys see me? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see me, if you guys can hear me. Let me know. I would gladly appreciate it. Can you guys see me? Can you guys see me? Because right now it seems to be working right now, but it's like I haven't heard anybody respond as of yet. So yeah, I mean, I'm seeing the comment section. Guys, let me know if you're up in here. Let me know. Let me know. Can you guys see me? I just need multiple thumbs up. I deeply apologize for what's going on. It's crazy. If anything, I probably might just have to stream on whatchamacallit. I might have to go back to Melon because I'm using a different stream. All right, shout out to Empty the Sports Clip. He can see me fine, and he's giving me the thumbs up, which is good. That's good to know so far. I just want to make sure that other people can see me so that I'm able to, kind of give my introduction, because, I mean, for me to come back this way was not the way that I expected, because I thought things would be working okay, but it's, it hasn't. So, but it looks like I'm doing okay, but I'm just trying to make sure that I get confirmation from everybody else. And once again, I deeply apologize because I didn't expect, it to go this bad. I think the problem is, I figured out what the problem is. I think that this streaming service, as good as it is, it hasn't really fully integrated with OBS as of yet. Like it shows, but it's like it hasn't really been fully integrated as of yet. Can you see me, Ryan? Make sure you can see me. All right. Awesome. Awesome. This is good. This is good. All right. I just want to get more people to clarify so that I'm able to get started and start talking. I actually want to invite people to the panel because this is very important because I feel like that this is going to lead to probably maybe 1 or 2 different topics, because I'm using the main camera from the computer, because apparently the USB camera that I'm supposed to be using connecting to OBS is not showing me. So I don't know what the issue with that. I'm gonna have to check that. I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know what it is, But salute to Ryan, salute to Empty the Sports Clip, salute to Sean, salute to Michelle's daughter, salute to Raphael. I know you was in here earlier. Salute to Anthony, salute to G Money, salute to Jay. I apologize, guys. That was crazy. Like, so the name of the streaming service that I'm using is called EV Mux, and from what I heard, it's really, really, really good. And I got to see a lot of the features that it has, and I'm super excited about it. Shout out to Karam in the building. Yeah, it's a very messy situation. I want to get into that. I actually wanted to invite some people on the panel, but I just want to make sure that a good amount of people are here, just so that I can start talking, because I wanted to say, ladies and gentlemen, long time no see. It is your boy Lewis Sports Network, back with another live stream, back with yet another video. Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure those notifications are turned on. Make sure you're sharing on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate. Once again, I deeply apologize for the technical issues and for the inconveniences that that's happened just trying to get this stream started, because it's been a while. I've had a lot of things going on. I've been studying to become a behavior therapist. My sister just moved out, so I've been helping her with the move. I've been dealing just with a lot of things in life. So that's what's been going on. So, and it's kind of stressed me out a bit. So that's why you haven't seen me for a good while. But it's good to see some of you guys' faces again. And I really want to talk about this topic. So, like I said, hopefully the people that were in my other stream earlier, hopefully we could get them back on here for this one, because this one was so messed up. Yo, shout out to Anthony L. Peace and blessings, my brother. Like I said, I apologize. I apologize for not even doing the Will Smith stuff, man, because I promised you that and had you to be as a guest. But shout out to Nets World. Salute. Guys, hit that like button. So, and I'm glad that you guys can hear me perfectly as well. That's good. Like I said, I'm using a new streaming service called EV Mux. I was using Melon before. Melon was great to me. But EV Mux has a lot of features that not even Melon has. And there's things that I could do for free on here that I couldn't do with Melon, which is awesome. But I thought that I had things handled, but it looks like it's really more so of the camera work in OBS. I got to get that stuff fixed. And once I do that, then hopefully, at least if they could come out with with a couple of more updates, this thing, honestly, I feel like the streaming service is going to be on point and on fire, but we got to just do more. Shout out to Nets World, man. Salute. He says, Lewis, I had a buddy who said Tom Brady is more popular around the world than LeBron. Do you agree? I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel that Tom Brady is more American, and that's only because football is starting to become big in Europe. It wasn't like that as before. I think LeBron, to me, he's more popular around the world than Tom Brady is. Everybody know who Brady is in America, but all right, man. Shout out to G Money, man. All right, so hopefully this is working. Oh my goodness. I am going to invite some people on here to get their thoughts on the situation. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste, if I can figure out how to paste on this thing, because I don't know. I'm using this for the first time. Let me see if I can put this in the chat. No, this looks like it's a search. Banners. I'm trying to see if I can add to the comments. Yeah, basketball is more of a world sport. Ryan says, I think it's a delay. My brother who's not interested in football knows who Brady is. I mean, true. I'm trying to see if I can invite. But you still say he's a basketball guy. No, this looks like. Oh, so I would have to set this. Oh, so do I have to go back to the dashboard if I was to set this up? Oh, wow. Wait, my volume or your volume? If it's your volume, you got to lower it down. Oh, wait. Never mind. Oh no, this is to reply to an agent. I thought I could just put this in the stream to be able to invite. I got to figure out how to be able to invite people on the stream because this will be great. Let's put speakers on here. Oh wow. So to put speakers, you have to put multiple names? Oh, that's how it works? Oh, I didn't know it was like this. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me just see that if I can just put it in the link and maybe it'll probably pop up from where can I copy this? Oh, never mind. What I could do, oh no, I got an idea. Never mind. What I'll just do is I'll just go to the main one, and then what I'll do is after that, I'll just be able to put it. This is what I'll do. I'll just do that. What I got it. I should have just opened this up. There. So what I'm doing is so I'll put the link in the chat. Let me know if it works, so that I could get at least one person in here, at least to be able to give their thoughts on the Ime Udoka situation. So before we get started, let me just say this real quick. So basically, the title of this video is on about how the Boston Celtics have handled this Ime Udoka situation and how Ime messed up big time in having a consensual relationship, according to reports, with someone of the Celtics staff. There's been a lot of rumors. If you look at the thumbnail on the video, I have Malika Andrews, Nia Long, I have Kathleen Nemo Lynch, and then I also have a woman by the name of Allison Feaster. And you're probably wondering what all these women have in common. And what I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pretty much explain what they all have in common when it comes to Ime Udoka. First and foremost, though, for those of you who don't know, Ime Udoka was caught apparently in a consensual relationship, did that under policies of the Celtics organization. He got caught. It was leaked out by somebody within the Boston Celtics, and the Boston Celtics has suspended Ime Udoka for the entire 2022-2023 basketball season. The reason I say that this was mishandled by the Boston Celtics is because for several reasons. One of them is the fact that the Celtics already knew about this. This has been going on for months. This situation has been going on for months. Celtics players knew about this for months. This was the report that was being said. Celtics players knew about this for months. Guys, make sure to hit the like, hit the thumbs up, make sure to share on your stream as you guys come in. So yeah, this was known for months that Ime was hand pressing over one of the Celtic staff women. So they thought, when I found about this, I was kind of surprised that this was all coming out. And the rumors were starting to really hit shelves around in July. I was starting to hear it. And I'm saying to myself, why would he be messing with a female and you got Nia Long? But then I thought to myself, I said, this is life. I said, this is, it happens in the basketball circle. It happens in the basketball community, whether it be players, coaches, or whatnot, that will be messing with these women. Now, let me make this very clear. To all the women out there, Ime deserves what's coming to him because he put himself in this situation. You should have known better for the fact that you're in a position of power. You are the head coach of the Boston Celtics. What did you think was going to happen if you decide to mess with somebody from the organization? Another issue is there has been reports that Udoka was talking with this mistress outside of Boston, around, I forgot what house that they mentioned, but it was around somebody's house, and it was recorded through security cam. It was recorded on camera. So there's that problem. Also, let me just say this. I just feel like this is really a very, very poor example that Ime Udoka showed, because we also have to remember that we have a Robert Sarver situation that just happened to where he was forced to sell the team, kind of in a comparison to Donald Sterling, but in a little bit of a different matter, especially because Robert Sarver was the owner of the Phoenix Suns. A lot of people feel that this Ime Udoka situation is just a distraction from the fact that Brett Favre was stealing from the poor, and he stole over $5 million, and he's not being held accountable for anything. And that Ime Udoka is the fall guy. For those of you who also don't know, Ime and Nia Long have had a long relationship. They have been engaged, I think, for the last 6 or 7 years. Nia has chosen not to get married, and they do have a 10-year-old son together. For those of you who also don't know, Ime Udoka is of Nigerian descent, and he was born in Portland, Oregon. So he is Nigerian American. So if you want to be a clarification of what nationality or what race he is Nigerian American. Okay. His parents are from Nigeria. He was born in Portland, Oregon. So he is Nigerian American. If you want to know a little bit of facts of Ime Udoka, he is a former San Antonio Spur. I think he won a championship with San Antonio, I believe in 2007. I could be wrong about that, but he did win a championship with them. And I think he also won with them as being an assistant head coach, I think in 2014 with San Antonio. Like I said, I could be wrong, but I believe that comes with that one in his not only playing career, but also coaching career as an assistant coach. He goes to the Boston Celtics as a rookie head coach, and he ends up taking the Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals when, in the first half of the season, it looked like Boston wasn't even going to be in the playoffs. They had the best record in the second half of the year. They turned it around, and they had the best record, I believe, since January 1st. I think since the turn of the new year, right? And Boston was unbelievable. They go through the playoffs. Shout out to Octavius. He says, come to the Lakers. Here's the problem with that, though. The problem is he can't come to the Lakers because he might lose his job and he might not be in the NBA. He might not be in the NBA because the crazy part is that there's still more stuff that we don't know that I feel like is about to come down and is about to hammer Ime so bad that he's not going to be in the NBA. But some people are still feeling that this is a harsh punishment. A lot of people felt that this was like anywhere from like a 15 to 20 game suspension and that he'd be back coaching. But the fact that they suspended him for the entire season is telling you that it's much more serious than we thought. But the crazy part is people within the organization knew that he was having an affair. The Celtic players knew that he was having an affair. You know what's the worst part? There were reports saying that Enes Kanter was the one that leaked out info on and snitched on Ime Udoka. But from what I heard, it was a Boston Celtics starter that told Nia Long's camp, and I'm guessing Nia Long's camp was the one that leaked this out. G-Money, you can hear me, right? Okay. I haven't added you to the dynamic, but I'm about to add you on. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here is G Money in the building. G Money, how is it going, my
Speaking.
friend? What is going on, man?
What's cracking, slacking? No time, no see. Big Lou, what's going on, baby?
Nah, man, just been busy, man. Been studying to become a behavioral therapist. I had my sister move as well, so with all that being made, I kind of been stressed out as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to get back into things, and like I just kind of took a break from studying so that I be kind of back doing these live streams, with you guys.
Right.
Good to see you on the panel.
Thank you.
And quick question, I mean, because there's a lot more that I want to say, but right now I just want to get your thoughts. So when you first heard this news, what was your reaction when you found out that Ime was being suspended for the season? And not only that, but now that he had an affair within the
Mhm.
Celtic organization with a woman, and then on top of that, the possibility that there's more info coming out, that he might not even be in the NBA anymore. So, what's your thoughts on that?
Man, this is cuckoo crazy. This got me off the hinges. It's like if you're Udoka, why even put yourself in a situation? This is just terrible, man. Because he seemed like a humble guy. He seemed like a guy that was humble. Seemed like a guy. He was a great coach, but this situation is terrible. Why put yourself in a position to not follow the Celtics' directions, not to put you to not to have affairs with other women staff members. And Boston, I don't look. I respect their franchise. I just don't respect the decision itself, suspended from a year. Unless the situation is like rape or something. If it's not too serious, I don't think they should suspend him from a year. It should have been like maybe to like the All-Star break, and maybe you make him pay a fine. So my reaction is that this is all crazy. Udoka should not put himself in this situation. He should follow the rules and guidelines. And I think Boston overreacted. The owner WYC Grusbeck and Brad Stevens, who's the GM, I felt they kind of overreacted to this. I don't really respect and honor the decision to suspend him for a year. It should have been like you should have suspended him for like to the All-Star break and maybe make him pay a fine.
The thing is that what I don't like about this situation is the fact that Brad Stevens came out and he said that a lot of the females, a lot of their names were kind of being dragged into the potential partners that he may have encountered. And what I don't like also is the fact that, as you mentioned, he may put himself in this situation. And as I mentioned already, he's Nigerian American. So his
Mm-hmm.
parents are from Nigeria. He was born in Portland. So it's like, just think, it's already a race thing because they're going to make it a race thing and I'm like, this should be just most focused on a man who made a mistake. But you got to
Yeah.
understand something. You're in a position of power. And the thing is, you're the head coach. You lead young men that play for your team. And the fact that
Mm-hmm.
you do this coming off an NBA Finals, which you got a lot of credit for, nobody thought the Celtics were going to be an NBA Finals team after how they started the season. And
18-21, yeah.
As I mentioned, in the last 43 games, the Celtics, I believe, had the best record after January 1st. I could be
Mm-hmm.
wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that they had the best record after January 1st. And, for you to come off a finals run and then on top of that, you then put yourself in a situation. What I want to know is what's really interesting about this whole thing is that I want to know who is that Boston Celtics starter that snitched to Nia's camp? Because
Yeah.
Nia's camp was the one that leaked it out. See, because reports originally said that somebody from Udoka's camp leaked it out, but no, somebody from Nia's camp leaked it out because a Boston Celtics starter did. And see, they said it was Enes Kanter who leaked it, but what people forget is Enes Kanter did start early in the season, but he played the rest of the season off the bench to the point that he wasn't even getting playing time. So it can't be Enes Kanter. It was one of the Celtic starters. The question is, who is it that had issues with Udoka that would leak this out to Nia's camp for them to leak it out to the Boston Celtics? Because as Stephen A said, and I don't agree with Stephen A snitch on a lot of things, but he's right. This was handled poorly because
Right.
it's out in the public. Okay, that's number one. This should have been handled within indoors. So
Agreed.
this is a company policy that Udoka broke. And what I don't like is it's one thing to punish Udoka, but we need to find out who is that female that he was messing with because she needs to be punished too.
Agreed.
He should not,
Yes.
he should, if you're gonna punish Udoka, which I 100% agree, you need to
Yeah.
punish the person that he had a consensual relationship with because if it's consensual, why are you suspending him for 1 year? It must have been something that Udoka did or said that it must have been way over the line to where he's getting suspended. But even if that's the case, the person that he did this with needs to be held accountable.
Agreed.
Now, Anthony L says it's a company policy that was broken and they both were employed through the organization and both parties should have been held accountable, not just Udoka. See, because Boston wants to give you this impression that they handled this the right way, but you knew about this. And why is it coming out now? Because it tells me that if you knew about this, you would have known how to handle it, but you didn't. And I want to know. I'm just wondering what Boston player snitched to Nia Long's camp that leaked this information out to where Boston really had no choice but then act accordingly and suspend Udoka like that. And the thing is, they did it very quickly. There wasn't much. I mean, well, I can't say quickly because at first there was investigation going on before they decided to suspend him. But because, so let me get to these people. So the first person I want to get, and I want to get this person out of the way, there's a woman by the name of Allison Feaster. I had seen her before, but I had not seen her for a long time. I even forgot that she was a WNBA player. So for those who don't know, she was a WNBA player who played from 1998. I think she was drafted. She was a 5th overall pick. People want to know what her position is. She is the vice president of player development for the Boston Celtics. For those who don't know, people on Twitter were spreading rumors thinking that Udoka was having an affair with her. She made it very clear that she did not have any type of affair, and she even got upset that her name was even being dragged into that situation. According to Mark Spears, he came out on Twitter and made it very clear that Allison Feaster was not one of the people that Ime Udoka had a consensual relationship with. Now, let me get your thoughts on the fact that it possibly could have been Catherine Nemo Lynch. She is the wife of Patrick Lynch. And the crazy part about it is that they have 3 kids together and they're married. The thing that we need to also understand is, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Nia Long and Ime Udoka were engaged.
Yep.
They were not married. They do have a 10-year-old son together, but they're engaged. They've been engaged for like about 6 years. But I also heard that they had, according to reports, they had separated. So I'm thinking that there were probably some issues going on between Nia and Udoka before Udoka did what he did. Would you possibly might say that be the case?
Possible. It is a possibility that because of the whole Nia Long and Udoka potentially breaking up, that did probably lead to Udoka doing something crazy. But like you said, Lou, if you're Emma Udoka, you just came off 2 wins away from probably being the champs of the world. That would have won your 18th championship in franchise history. Here's another thing that I want to add into your point, Lou. This not only affects Udoka, it affects the whole Celtics team, like Tatum, Brown, other guys. They may ask for a trade. Don't be surprised, though, because the Celtics become a clown show with this situation, though. So don't be surprised if those guys ask for a trade too. And the whole Udoka Nia Long thing, if they are separated, you can't put yourself in this type of a situation if you're Udoka. You gotta be accountable, man. You gotta be disciplined. And I agree with you. The lady who Udoka had an affair, she has to get punished. If you're going to potentially fire Udoka, you gotta fire her too, because you may do it to the next coach or to the other players too, and cause even more drama. So that's my thoughts there. And also, like I said, Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford could ask for a trade because of this whole situation going on. Because we don't know how Joe Mazzulla is going to adjust to the no offense and defense. So we gotta consider that too.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the problem with that, though. The problem is that Boston Celtic players knew about this.
Wow.
That's the thing. It's easy to say, oh, how it affects Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I got a feeling that these players know about this, and the worst part is that they're going to have to answer these questions from the media, and I know that they're going to be deflecting because they don't want to really get involved. But the problem is that a Celtic starter was the one who snitched to Nia's camp, and some of these players already know that Udoka was having an affair. So the problem is all of these guys are going to have to be investigated. And it's true, some of these guys might want out just for the fact that they might not want to deal with this situation. But I hate to say it, I know it's innocent until proven guilty, but the problem is these guys have some kind of guilt because they know. The question is, who knows? We don't know, but we know that some people know. And the crazy part is also Nia Long actually went on Instagram and put out cryptic messages of Ime Udoka. And I actually scrolled through her Instagram just to see if there were any pictures that she still had of him. She only had one from what I saw because she has a lot of photos posted. I think she has over 900 photos posted. And I'm not going to go through all of those photos, but the only photo that I saw her have was congratulating Ime on making the NBA Finals. That's it. Yep. Before, she used to have a lot of pictures of him in her Instagram. I get the feeling that she had already erased those.
Probably.
I'm already thinking that she had already erased those, and I feel like she's already getting ready to move on. I know Ime already issued an apology to the Celtic organization. It already came out, and he already, gave his apology in a statement. But Nia was throwing some real cryptic messages on Instagram through her stories, and she's trying to focus and move on, and she's trying to process all this. People can say what they want, and like I said, I'm not even going to accuse Nia as of yet because I don't know what happened. So I'm not even going to go on her neck. So I'm not even going to do that. But now, now that I got Allison Feaster out of the way because they were trying to connect her, now I have to get to Catherine Nemo Lynch. So again, like I mentioned, guys, according to reports, there was a report. See, this is the thing that a lot of channels were doing. Because a lot of these info was coming out. Catherine Nemo Lynch she is the wife of VP Patrick Lynch, and she works in the organization. And according to that, she also was the travel partner in helping Nia Long move to Boston when Ime became the head coach. So there's the connection there for those who don't know. But on top of that, it was basically said that he was messing with her while she was married. And if that's the case, that's not a good look. But the thing is, that's what was reported. That was the alleged, according to that. But now, for some reason, the Boston Celtics have not released that person's name yet. The thing is, you're going to have to do it because this has been leaked out to the public. And since Ime Udoka's name is out there, you're going to have to leak it, unfortunately. Anthony L says it's affecting innocent households who Roni have anything to do with this. This will also affect Black coaches moving forward. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because like I mentioned already, Ime is American born, but he's Nigerian. So a situation like this is going to prevent Black coaches from getting into the NBA, from getting the opportunity to head coach. The funny thing, and I'm talking about young coaches who probably might want, probably deserve the opportunity to coach, and maybe even veteran coaches who have been assistants for a long time with the opportunity to, coach in the NBA. But Anthony L is right. This is going to affect coaches who might deserve the opportunity to coach, and they're not going to get it. And this is very bad. This is very bad because of the image that now Udoka. And now also you got to ask yourself, how many of the owners in the NBA know about this? What discussions are being discussed there? And then how is Adam Silver going to address this situation? Because we already had about Malice in the Palace, but now it's like this is of a different kind. We've had Donald Sterling. People are kind of, and the funny thing is with this Udoka news coming out, this is ignoring Robert Sayer, who's selling the team in Phoenix, with the comments that he made. But I have to ask you, do you honestly think that Ime Udoka? No, I actually should ask you this.
Mhm.
Do you believe that the Celtics, the reason that they suspended him instead of firing him might be due to money purposes? Because I feel like this is a business thing. Because the reason I
You
say
said
that is
that.
because if they wanted to fire him, they would have got rid of him already. But knowing
Yeah.
that if they let him go, they would have had to pay him the money, and that would have given them the freedom to coach another team, possibly. But do you think that do you think that this is a business move by Boston so that they didn't have to pay Udoka in suspending him for 1 year? Because I know it's
I
deep.
I think it might be type of a business move for Boston because, like you said, they don't want to pay a guy that's not gonna be on your team anymore. So potentially, so I think this might be a business move though. That I think this might be a time of business move for Boston.
Sorry, I just had to
It's
clear
all
my
right.
throat a little bit right there. You know what? This which now leads me to and I know they're Catholic. Catherine was the wait. Is it Catherine or Caitlin? I think it's Caitlin. I could be wrong about the name. I believe it is. Let's see. Let's see. No. Yeah. Oh, wait. Let me say this.
Mhm.
So I looked this up and I forgot to mention this. So according to Kevin Frazier, who
Mhm.
works for E Entertainment, he said multiple sources confirmed Celtics female staffer affair with Celtics coach Ime Udoka was uncovered by her husband when
Wow.
he overheard a private conversation on a home doorbell camera. On a
Sheesh.
home doorbell camera. This is
Getting
what was
hot
the
in here.
latest that
Whew.
came out.
Yeah.
This is what came out earlier this morning at 1:51 a.m. according to Kevin Frazier. That was the report that Ime Udoka and the wife was overheard a private conversation and it was uncovered by the wife's husband. We still
Wow.
got to find out who that person is. We
Mhm.
still got to find out who that person is, but I'm afraid that Ime Udoka is going to get hit so hard.
Yeah.
He's not going
I
to know
think he's
what hit him.
gone. I think he's gone. I think Boston's gonna. Here's two things. What I think is gonna happen. Either they're gonna mutually part ways with Udoka, or Boston's gonna fire him. I don't see any way he comes back after a year. Not after all of this. Nah.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, it's crazy because we just, probably not going to see it. Um, you know, Gentlemen, let this be a message to everybody out there, guys. Make sure to hit the like. Make sure. Again, this is why I don't. It's very dangerous to be trying to have relationships or even try to shoot your shot in the workplace because you don't know what that can lead to. And as you're seeing right now, this man was the head coach of the Boston Celtics, and you went from a guy who was earning respect around the league to
Mhm.
now somebody who is probably going to get very disrespected. And he's already been getting disrespected by a lot of people with what's going on. Like I said before, Ime deserves what's happening to him because he put
Yes.
himself in this mess. But wherever that lady is, they need to come out with it. And I could agree with Anthony Elwin. He's saying, I think they suspended him for a year as a cover to make it look non racist. But I also said that this is a distraction from what's going on with some of these other people, with the Phoenix owner, because that was making headlines. But now with this Ime thing, this has become the hot topic. And then what's going on with Brett Favre, the quarterback,
Mhm.
for those who don't know about what he's been doing uh, and, you know, stealing money. But now that I got away from Catherine Nemo and Allison Feaster, now I want to get to Malika Andrews. And let me just say
Oh,
this right now. I have lost a ton of respect for that woman. I've lost a ton of respect for her.
yep.
She is part of the go along, get along gang. And I said this a while ago when she disrespected Kobe Bryant and tried to lie just to protect LeBron James. And I said this. But for once again, for those who don't know, first take in the morning, Molly Kiram, the woke Malik Kiram, brought in the news and the story about Ime getting suspended, and they gave Stephen A his thoughts, and Stephen A was pretty much going off on he didn't agree with how the Celtics handled it, but he's saying that Ime Udoka did he deserved for what happened to him, but he felt that the Celtics should have gotten rid of him if this was the case. But like I said, I felt that that was a business move, and what Anthony L possibly could have been saying, it probably could have been like, oh, to make sure that it wasn't a racist thing. The thing is also, and to be honest with you, this probably could have been looked at as a racist move, and trust me, Stephen A probably would have used it as a racist move. They got rid of him because he's a black. He would have found some way to be like, oh yeah, he's a black man and all this kind of stuff. But getting back to Malika Andrews, I was really disgusted by some of the comments that she said. She literally came on to give her piece, and then she literally was trying to talk to Stephen A like if she was like his mom or something, talking about how, oh, this is not about pointing the finger, with women and being the blame for what Ime Udoka's done. And I'm like, wait a minute. Ime Udoka is not the only person that was involved. It was the person that he had this alleged affair with was involved too.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she went all victim blaming instead of really understanding and listening to the facts. Oh, by the way, for those who don't know, Malika Andrews is actually dating a coworker. You want to know who she's dating right now in the same network? I'm going to give you a clue. He's an inside reporter for the Los Angeles Lakers, or should I say LeBron James.
Yep.
Take a guess who that person is. So there's G Muddy doing the Jeopardy, but basically she's dating Dave McMenamin.
Yep.
She's dating Dave McMenamin. And I'm like, so what if something goes wrong there? What's going to happen? Are we going to see more virtual signaling, victim blaming on her part? Because, it possibly might happen. So instead, she does that. She's making this a feminist issue. And it's like, no. And it's like, no. This is the problem. When you have two people involved in something, both of them are at fault. Because first of all, they both work in the organization. One was engaged and the other person apparently is married. So basically you're messing with a married woman while you're engaged. Who is at fault? They both are. So and Anthony L says Malika was trying to make this an issue of women's rights and feminism, and it has nothing to do with blaming women. She just doesn't want to hold women accountable when she broke the same policy.
Ding, ding, ding. Yep.
Exactly. Bingo.
Oh, Malika.
And this is my problem. And I said I had lost respect for her ever since she did that thing about Kobe. LeBron and the Lakers failed to make the playoffs. She was trying to compare the 2013 team and how Kobe couldn't lead them and they failed to make the playoffs. Like
I just couldn't listen to that. You can't listen to that.
It's one thing to make her information wrong, but the thing is that she was so hell bent. And I'm like, McMenamin. I said, why didn't you check your girl? Oh, but that's right. You wouldn't have done that because it doesn't fit your agenda. That's the problem. It doesn't fit your agenda. Mm-hmm. And it's like, there's no excuse for what happened. That's for what happened last year. What happened last year is what happened last year. But and then on top of that, Malika Andrews then decides to take Kendrick Perkins off air when she brings him on air. And then he gives his thoughts on the situation. And I'm like, Kendrick Perkins would know because he played for that organization. He knows
them too.
Exactly. He knows. So he's telling you that these are facts. And Malika's like, oh yeah, Kendrick, and then and then the thing is, if you even saw Kendrick's face when Malika introduced him,
he was like,
no, he was like he already knew the BS was coming. Like he already knew the BS was coming. And then I saw Zach Lowe's face, and he's like, he has the face of, this is uncomfortable. I don't want to be here. Oh, and speaking of, I looked at Chene as someone who I thought, I like, but again, another person that's part of the go along, get along gang. And Malika's like, well, yeah, we have to understand it kind of goes back to Shanae's point. No, it doesn't, Malika, because what you're saying makes absolutely no sense.
It's just
Basically,
stupid.
what you're doing is you don't want the finger pointed at the woman who had the affair with the man. And basically, you're like, it's the man's fault because he's the one that pursued it. And I'm like, it's another thing if she tried to resist because we don't know that for sure, but it was consensual. Or are you basically trying to say for those people like consensual was core for he was making moves, he was verbally abusive, and basically trying to use it possibly as saying, rape. And we don't know that for sure. But you know how things go. It starts out consensual, and then all of a sudden the person was verbally abusive. He got physical with me. He tried to, and like all these allegations begin to come out. And the Celtics organization still has not revealed this lady. But for Malika Andrews, she knew what she was doing. She's basically doing this to pretty much deflect, and not hold women accountable. It's like, no, it's the man's fault. It's always the man's fault in this situation. No, it's the man's fault. It's all about the guy. It's all about the guy. The male has to be responsible and take responsibility. First of all, Ime Udoka apologized.
True.
Again, not condoning what he did. He deserves what he got. And the Celtics punished him for it. And they punished him severely because Jay Williams also came out and said that, again, this should have never happened if you're Ime. Once again, high-profile man. And you know what's the worst part about it? He was engaged to a black woman. See? So we know what this is going to turn to because then the possibility is if he was messing with a Caucasian, they're going to turn this into a race issue. It's going to be racism and it's going to be feminism at the same time. I know where this is going. I know where this is going. And like you said, G Money, this is going to hit him so bad that he's probably going to be out of the NBA.
I think he's done. I don't see how he's gonna get another job. I don't see it.
And hold on real quick. And I was as much as I cannot stand Stephen A. Snitch, I was happy that he checked Malik. I was happy he checked her. I was happy that he checked
It's his show. It's his show, Malika.
I'm glad. And the crazy part is, and then Kendrick Perkins is like he agreed with Stephen A. and he was basically explaining why, the situation, and it's like Malika just doesn't want to listen. And I'm like, yeah, it's utterly disgusting. Quite honestly, it's disgusting. I'm surprised that Molly hasn't gone victim blaming because she came out and said, this situation is so uncomfortable. Oh, is it really? It's uncomfortable. You should know. You should know because another victim blamer for what she did to LeVar Ball a couple years back. I didn't forget about the switching gears.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that I respect women. I respect women who are professional. I respect women who make sure they do their job. And I respect women who don't try to come out with victimized agendas. I respect women like that. I respect them. And it's like, we got to call a spade, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're protecting this feminist movement. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that the woman is right. You don't want to speculate, you don't want to make assumptions, but I really feel that this is the case because, like I just mentioned, Ime Udoka is engaged to a black woman, but I'm pretty sure that they were having issues, and there was rumor that they had separated, and I'm pretty sure Ime messed with a white woman, and like I said before, it is going to turn into a race and feminine issue. The only question is, are the Celtics going to hold that same woman accountable and make her lose her job, or is she going to keep it because they're going to make it seem like if Udoka is a rapist? And I'm telling you right now, that is going to be the narrative. And like Anthony L. said, this might be it for black coaches getting jobs in the NBA. And like you said, and like Karam was saying in the chat, I think Udoka is done, and I don't think he gets another head coaching opportunity. And if he does, it's going to probably be a long time. It's probably
Probably.
going to be a long time, probably very long time before he gets a.
I'm
Nope. Shout out to Daniel Berry, man. Appreciate you coming on through, man. Guys, hit the like. What's up?
smash those likes, smash those likes. I want to say one thing about the whole Malika Stephen A. Perk situation.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, here's my advice to Malika. If you want people to listen to your point, know what you're talking about. Don't just talk to talk. What she said about Stephen A. quote unquote accusing women was just stupid and ridiculous. All Stephen A. said was either Boston should fire Udoka or keep him. He didn't mention anything about women. So for you to make up this hoopla that Stephen A. was accusing women is ridiculous and disrespectful. And also Perk. And also just just shutting out Perk.
Hold
Perk was
on. So,
giving you facts, yeah?
hold on, real quick. Shout out to King G in the building. I see you, man. He says, Anthony, that's not really true. It's more so that she's just a woman. All right, go ahead, G Money. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine, you're fine. And Perk was giving you factual evidence. One, he used to play for the Celtics for the title team in 2008 and went to the finals with them in 2010. And two, the fact that he is an analyst with the Celtics. He was giving you facts into what's going on in the organization. So for you to cut him off too soon is ridiculous. Look, listening is such a huge word because I don't listen to BS, but you have to at least hear the point first. At least hear the point to see if it's at least hear the point first, and you can judge it or listen to it. It's your choice, Malika, but don't be quick to judge. I feel she's kind of quick to judge. Hear the point first and see if it's relevant or not. And also, back to the whole Kobe thing. First of all, the Lakers were in the playoffs as a 7 seed, okay? And they started off, 17-25, but they turned things around late in the season to get themselves to the 7th seed until he got hurt. The Lakers last year had title aspirations. They were the favorites to come out of the West going into last year. Not only did they not make the playoffs, they almost lost 50 games last year. So I can't respect her opinion when she compares the 2013 Lakers to the 2022 Lakers. It's dumb because the 2013 Lakers were in the playoffs. They were rolling at the end of the season until Kobe hurt his Achilles. I don't think they beat the Spurs, but they would have at least been maybe competitive. And then the Lakers last year, they lost 49 games. They almost lost 50 games. You can't compare. Even when the Lakers were healthy, they were only 11-10 when healthy. They were inconsistent. So you can't compare the situation. And for you to disrespect Stephen A., and I'm glad Stephen A. put her on her place. This is First Take. This is not your show, Malika. And even though Stephen A. may say some things that may be wrong, he does make some good points sometimes. He did have a point with Udoka, though. All he said was either Udoka should stay or the Celtics should fire him or mutually part ways. He didn't mention anything about women. And no, come on. Malika, have you kind of noticed ever since NBA Today, she's kind of been more big-headed, I should say, big-headed and more delusional with some of her takes? I don't understand it, man.
Listen, man, I perfectly understand why she's got more delusion. It's pretty simple. She's got in a better position. She still does her sideline reporting, but at the same time, it's like she's hosting NBA. She's doing, the NBA countdown. So now that she has that, and the thing is, again, she's backed by the corporate people behind closed doors, by the higher ups, because like I told you, she is a feminist. And with feminists, they're going to support feminists. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what's happening. And that's why I said Malika just sounds so professional until she lets her emotions get the best of her. So it ain't so good. But I agree with King G. Ime Udoka brought this on himself, and let this be a lesson to you men out there. Don't be messing with coworkers. And that goes for females too. Don't mess with guys in the workplace, man. You're supposed to do your job. You're supposed to be professional. Like I said, whatever you do outside of work is your business, but you don't bring the outside stuff into the workplace, because that's just spelling trouble right there. Shout out to Jay in the building. He says it doesn't matter what Stephen A. or Malika said because they're both wrong. Well, let me say this. Stephen A. was right in checking Malika because she was way off base. But like I said before, Stephen A is gonna make this a race issue, which I don't agree with at all. I don't agree with. And like I said before, the Celtics, they mishandled this situation because I feel like people in the organization knew about this and they're trying to make it seem like if they didn't. And Brad Stevens says that nobody else is getting punished. But I'm like, so basically, what you're kind of telling me is that you kind of know who is the person involved, but you know which people are not going to be punished. And some people were even criticizing Brad Stevens because they felt that his crying that he was trying to do, that little fake cry, was kind of contrived. Like it didn't seem real. Because Anthony L says Brad Stevens made it clear during the press conference that no one else is going to be punished. Why? They both broke company policy. If they're going to throw him under the mud, then she should get the same treatment. Exactly. Right. I feel like this is a racial thing. So I'm already presuming that this was a white woman, and I have a funny feeling. This is my gut feeling. I have a funny feeling that this situation, Ime might have said some things verbally. It's kind of weird that it's consensual, but I'm pretty sure that somebody's going to have a tape, kind of like what happened with Rachel Nichols in the whole Maria situation a couple of years ago during the pandemic. I'm pretty sure that there's going to be something like that, something similar. And then we got to ask ourselves, who was that Boston Celtics starter that leaked out to Nia's camp about Udoka having an affair? Because if that was to happen, I'm pretty sure that that player, that starter, had issues with Udoka at some point. And it had to be recent. Probably during the playoffs, maybe before that, at the end of the season, something. Because they try to make it Enes Kanter, but I have forgotten. Enes had at one point not played. And
he wasn't even in the NBA last year. Kanter wasn't even in the league last year.
He wasn't even in the league. So that's ridiculous, man.
Oh, this hullabaloo. The Celtics, I mean, if you're a Celtics fan, you got to be pissed. I mean, think about it. You lost in the finals being up 2-1. Then Danilo Gallinari torn his ACL. Robert Williams will be out 8 to 12 weeks because he has surgery in his knee. Now you get this Udoka situation. It's just super crazy, man. Whew.
Yep. Malik, yep. Anthony L. She's part of the Me Too Coalition. King G says, Anthony L., I think she will get fired, but I don't know why she's anonymous, though. That's my issue as well. She should get fired as well.
I don't think they'll fire her. I doubt it. I don't think so.
Jay says they were both wrong. The way Ime pursued her afterwards made him seem worse. Yeah, this is a real dicey situation. And it was important to get everybody's opinions on this. The problem is that the reason why I don't trust the Celtic starters is because they also know. Like I'm asking, I don't know which Celtic starter was the one that leaked it out. And that's the problem. That's what I want to know. Mm-hmm. There must have been something personal going on between Ime and that player, that starter, because who's in the starting lineup? Al Horford, Jason Tatum,
Marcus Smart,
Jaylen Brown,
and Robert Williams.
The question is that I'm trying to think. I feel like Al Horford would be if I do process of elimination, the one guy that I could probably clear off is Al Horford. I mean, you could be surprised, but my thing is that he's a good guy. He's a good leader. He's a good locker room guy. I wouldn't think it would be Al Horford, but like I said, I could be surprised. Like, you never know. But I feel like he would be the odd man out on this because of the way he is.
Yeah, he treats himself. He's very humble, very mild-mannered. I don't think it's Al Horford. If I have to choose to eliminate another starter, I don't think it'll be Jaylen Brown. I don't think Jaylen Brown's this. I think Jaylen Brown, I don't think he'll do something like this. I think it comes between Smart, Tatum, and Williams. Give me some time. I'm just guessing. Our opinion could be wrong here, but I'm just guessing. Who would do something like that?
Jay says one man tells on another man's business. The type of man that's probably jealous about something or something that that man did, Udoka apparently did to him that doesn't make him happy. Anthony L says, off topic, but Lewis, I'm looking forward to hearing your take on Brett Favre stealing money from the poor. Yeah, that's another situation that's crazy, and like nobody is reporting about that, and it's crazy. I lost respect for Brett Favre after that because Brett Favre was actually one of my favorite quarterbacks watching. Take away the interceptions because I know that dude constantly coughed the ball up, trying to make crazy plays that he had no business trying to make, but. You know, like I said, he was fun to watch, but what he did, I lost a lot of respect. I lost respect for Brett Favre too. But that's not gonna get. That hasn't even been talked about.
Stealing money from
and so many people.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and I said, okay, so this is what I'm trying to understand for some of these players. I don't understand how I get that Brett. Yeah, but my thing is Brett Favre has played. He played up to what into the early 2010s. He was, I think, by 2010 he retired. I think. But my thing is, you've made millions. It's like, are you investing your money and saving it that you are still going out and you're stealing from the poor? Like that just tell me mind-wise something ain't right. What's going on in the head? Jay says any one of the starting five could have for different reasons. None of it would surprise me. Yeah, I mean, like I said, with Al Horford,
I don't think so.
I feel like he's the odd man out. But like I said, at the same time, if it happened to be him, no surprise there.
My guess who I don't want to put names, but my guess who probably would do this will probably be a Marcus Smart. It feels like Marcus. Again, I'm not trying to go on his neck, but I think Marcus Smart could have been involved in this. That's my guess because Al Horford's a nice guy. I don't think Brown would do it. I think it'd be more Marcus Smart.
I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it was him. I wouldn't be, honestly. I honestly wouldn't be. So if it's him, I won't be surprised. Some people are gonna ask why, and like I said, he's gonna have a reason as to why he did it. So, it is what it is. But my thing is, I gotta say this. It is really truly amazing in 2022 how much virtual signaling we're doing just to try to put somebody in a very vulnerable position, but at the same time, like I said, to Ime Udoka, I'm just gonna say this right now: you effed up very badly.
Yeah.
You made yourself look like a fool to the black community. That's number one. You made yourself look like a fool to to people who actually respected you around the league. And the funny thing is, I said, yo, you were a former San Antonio Spur.
Yeah.
So what you could have done, this could have been something like really important in terms of other. And the funny thing is, black head coaches have coached in the NBA. It's just that you don't see a string of them because mostly they're players. You don't really see them in front office positions unless if they're like general manager, possibly vice president of basketball operations. But you don't. Jordan is the only black owner in the league, and it's one of the reasons why LeBron is motivated to own a team because he wants to say that he did it. Jay says Favre was dirty since Green Bay. Yeah, that's true. That is 100%. That is 100%.
Yep.
Guy's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, so we know that. Now I gotta ask because I know more info is gonna come out. I'm just wondering now, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this. What is this going to mean for the Celtics other players? Because we already know that so right now the Celtic starters are
Yep.
the ones that are right now in the accusation because that's the leak. It's a Celtic starter. But what does this now mean for the bench players?
They're gonna feel it's gonna be it's gonna be tough if you're guys like Payne Pritchard, Derek White. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, don't be surprised if one of these guys asks for a trade because now it's a clown show. Now it's a clown show. I mean, all these alleged stuff going on, the Udoka situation. Payne Pritchard could be gone. Derek White could be gone with all the situation going on. So that's what I think what it means for the bench players. These guys may ask for a trade because they don't want to be part of an organization that lacks continuity. I know the Celtics were in the NBA Finals last year and were 2 wins away from winning a title. But now you go from that into this lack of trust by starters and all that, and the horrible situation by Udoka. I can see guys like Payne Pritchard off the bench, Derek White, might ask to be traded because of the situation because they don't want to be part of a bad environment.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? And this is why I also said that I have to get on Nia Long a little bit too, because getting back onto her. My issue also is that if she was somebody else, she would have never went on social media and said what she said. But instead, she did. And a lot of these feminists that tend to do that are about social media. I get it. Ime effed up. But my thing is, why you got to go on social media?
You didn't need to.
Just to prove a point. To be like, it's like again another. You're doing this to find sympathy. Okay, you came out and said that you're going to focus on your family and all this kind of stuff. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is like my whole question is now because now we already know about all the investigations that are going to happen in the future, but now the reason I'm kind of pausing a bit is just I'm thinking I'm guessing what led to Nia and Ime having the issues that they had, because I'm pretty sure that they had them. And I'm kind of wondering also, how did these Boston Celtics players find out about Ime having this affair? Because I'm wondering either Ime slipped up or somebody in the Boston organization slipped up.
Right.
Whoever told. Because somebody snitched on somebody.
Probably.
That's what we know. Somebody snitched on somebody. Somebody snitched on somebody.
Yeah, crazy. And when you saw the Celtics last year, they had so much continuity together. The last few games of the season, they loved each other. They were like a family. I'm even surprised that the players would snitch on their own coach. And like you said, Udoka put himself in this type of situation. It's like, dude, not only are you putting yourself in a bad situation, but also your team. You gotta be disciplined, Udoka. You gotta be held. You gotta be accountable. You can't keep your ding dong in your pants. Keep your ding dong in your pants. You can't put yourself out there to hang out with other women. I mean, you can hang out with other women, but don't do sexual stuff. Keep things to yourself. You can chat. Like, don't do the extraordinary stuff, because now you don't even have a job to this point, and you're having a great job in Boston. And your team could have won a championship this coming season, potentially, getting Malcolm Brogdon. Now you put yourself in this type of situation, and it's unbelievable, man. Like, this may sound a little crazy, but hear me out here. Don't be surprised if the Celtics become the New York Knicks in the next few years, if you know what I mean. Because you know how good the Knicks were in 99 as an 8 seed, that because of like certain allegations with Isaiah Thomas that went downhill ever since, that can happen to the Celtics if they're not careful.
Well, the allegations with Isaiah Thomas, that happened around 2006, 2007. That was like 7 years later. And by that point, He had become president of basketball operations. He was GM. He also became head coach. And I remember his issue. His issue was with Stephon Marbury, and I know Marbury. He went out to the media and basically said Thomas was having an affair with one of the people, and he got sued. And the Knicks were in that lawsuit, and that was just a whole mess. But it's funny how Isaiah talks about Michael Jordan so much and all this kind of stuff. But Isaiah kind of put himself in these kind of situations too. I mean, when it comes to that. But let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we have the Phoenix owner being forced to sell the team,
Robert Sarver, yeah.
Robert Sarver with the comments he made, and now we have Ime Udoka getting suspended for the year with Boston, and now we're trying to find out the alleged mistress that he was messing with, who the Boston Celtics have yet to reveal.
Right.
What does this mean for the rest of the NBA, knowing that you have two franchises with kind of dark situations? How is the rest of the league going to react? What are your thoughts on that?
It's just crazy. I mean, let's start with Robert Sarver. The Suns should got rid of Robert Sarver should sell the team a long time ago. He's a horrible owner. I'm not trying to compare Robert Sarver to James Dolan, but technically Sarver's kind of like the Dolan of the Western Conference, except the racism, kind of. Because the Suns, except the past 2 years, historically were a mediocre to bad franchise. So the Suns, thank God Robert Sarver is gone. Thank God. And the whole Udoka situation, he screwed up. What this mean for the league? The league has to be held accountable. They gotta fix this type of situation so more owners and coaches don't put themselves in terrible situations. Like you're putting your team at risk, your family at risk, yourself at risk. They gotta find a way to fix this type of stuff, man. But thank God Robert Sarver is going to be gone. Thank God. If you're a Suns fan, you should be happy because he's not. I mean, he cursed out many reporters, not reporters, employees, said the N-word multiple times, talked about sexual stuff with women. He was just a terrible person, horrible, disrespectful person. And he was a garbage owner, let's be honest. Other than the past 2 years, what has he done as an owner? Like, he was a garbage owner.
You know what?
Yeah.
Actually, no. Finish what you was gonna say because I asked something else that just actually I just thought about that just brought to my attention. But I'll
The
get to
NBA
that.
has to fix this, man. The NBA has to fix all these allegations and stuff. I don't get it, man. They gotta fix this type of stuff because now you're seeing owners and coaches do this type of stuff, and the organizations, like the teams, have to make strict rules and policies to prevent coaches and owners for doing alleged stuff. Like, not only are you putting yourself at horrible risk of a job, you're putting your team at risk too, especially when your team start to turn things around.
As you were talking, G Money, it just made me think about something. Now that we talk about Phoenix, and I want to connect it to the Clippers with Donald Sterling because this all also connects to an NBA player that I'm a little upset about, and his name is Chris Paul. Because when Donald Sterling was the owner of the Clippers, he didn't say absolutely nothing when he was doing his racist stuff.
True.
As a former player, but he sure got the money, didn't he? And then on top of that, also got his money with Robert Sawyer, and he didn't say nothing there neither. Kind of funny that Chris Paul was in two different situations in the same conference, in the same division, with two different white owners, and with the stuff that they got away with, Chris Paul said absolutely nothing.
And the rest of the teams too, not just CP3. Where's D Book?
And yep, and the rest of the team didn't say anything.
And Monty Williams too.
And Monty Williams too. Because I haven't heard him say anything.
Not much.
And this is what it shows. This shows that when it comes to certain situations, they're going to keep their mouth shut and not say anything.
Yep.
When it comes to certain situations, they're going to keep their mouth shut. Did you notice CP3 kept his mouth shut on both Robert Sawyer and Donald Sterling? Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic?
What a coincidence.
Two different situations. See? Anthony L says, whatever is done in the dark will eventually come to light. Absolutely. It's like you're in a tunnel, and once you get to the end of the tunnel, you're going to see the light because eventually you're not going to be in that dark tunnel anymore. So eventually you're going to see the light. So right now, this is just a really dark tunnel. Celtics in green are going through right now, but this is not a good look for the NBA because you have two situations happening around at the same time. This is going to turn people off from watching, and I'm pretty sure fan bases are going to go hard at Phoenix, and they're going to go hard against the Boston Celtics. Not just players from the other teams, but I just feel like, again, some of the comments that are going to be coming on social media is going to create quite a frenzy. And I feel like the league is kind of in a bad place with the fact that we just had the Warriors win the title. But now we're dealing with a head coach that doesn't know how to keep his Udoka in his pants.
Keep your ding dong in your pants.
He can't keep his Udoka in his pants. And once again, we have a point guard who people label the point god when he hasn't won anything, and he hasn't never won a championship. Again, go speechless when he knew about some of the stuff that was going on with this white owner.
Agreed. Yep.
Along with the rest of the players and the head coach. But if they don't say anything, they won't get blackballed. But that's what's going to happen. This is crazy. Once again, man, I want to thank G Money for coming on as a guest on the show. As we talk about the situation, and this is very important.
These two teams can't catch a break. Celtics and Suns fans can't catch a break. I mean, think about it. Think about it, Lou. These are two teams finals runner-up. Ironically, two teams who were 2 wins away from a title. You would have thought that they'll learn from their finals losses and grow to become future champions. And now you get this. Robert Sarver has always been a crappy owner, in my opinion. He's always been a garbage owner, though. He should have sold the team years ago. And Udoka, like you said, Lou, Udoka, you did it in a bad way, man. You should have kept your ding-dong down there in your pants and not get yourself in this type of situation. And don't be surprised. I'm saying now, if Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, Williams, anyone asks for a trade. And for the Suns, too, you're going to shambles, too. You just had a franchise record 64 wins last year. And you end up choking to White Stallions, no pun intended, and the Mavs in 7. And now you get this. I feel bad if you're a Celtic fan. Even though I'm like Chris Paul, he should have said something. Same thing with Book, Ayton, Bridges, Crowder, Johnson, Monty Williams. You gotta say something. Well, I don't get it, man.
Well, let's look at it this way. Isn't it funny that Chris Paul once again finds himself in controversy in the playoffs? He had his little moment in 2021 going to the finals. And then the very next year, part of a franchise 64-win Phoenix Suns team that gets blown out by damn near 50 in Game 7 to Luka's Mavs.
They got donkey slapped by White Stallions by 33. What a coinky didn't come.
And Chris Paul really didn't do anything that convinced me that he's the point guard, as people like to call him.
His best chance of 2021 to do that, yes.
Listen, Chris Paul is an unbelievable point guard. He's one of the greatest of all time, future first ballot Hall of Famer. But like I said before, this is part of the reason that Chris Paul has been called dirty in his career. And on top of the fact that Chris Paul is not very well liked by quite a few guys in the NBA. That's just some of the stuff that he does that guys don't like. Mm-hmm. And this is one, and like I said, this is one of them. Once again, this is a player. 2 different white owners didn't say squat. But you got your bag, though. You got your money. You got your bag. Oh, and by the way, let me just say this. Now that I think about this Ime Udoka situation, don't forget that the CBA is about to finish. Once that's up, you already know. You already know. Because think about this now. It's not only the fact that Ime Udoka ruined his reputation as a black head coach in this league, but now you look at these black players that quite possibly snitched on him within the organization to his fiance.
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly believe, folks? Do you honestly believe this is just giving the organization more reason to not trust these players? Even though that these owners and higher ups are known for evil, fiendish crap within the organization. But at the same time, this is giving the owners more leverage as to not really pay players the way that players are wanting to get paid. Because right now the players have the leverage in terms of the contracts. You got guys who shouldn't be making the amount of money that they make, and they're making that kind of money because of the CBA and the fact that the Players Association was able to win that favor.
Yep.
This time around, the owners are going to win this. I can clearly see it. And the players are going to have no choice. They're going to have no choice but to settle.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And don't forget the salary cap too. And also the increased salary cap is why you see players get huge money like John Morant, Jokic, Steph Curry. The salary cap too, the increased salary cap is why you see players get more giganto moolah and their bank accounts are going boom.
No, best believe the salary cap is going down for the NBA. Best believe these owners are going to be, trust me, they're going to pretty much have the ammo to get on Adam Silver. And unless Adam Silver has a backbone and it goes on the player side, because you already know players like JJ Redick, who's so damn player friendly, is going to be like, oh, I feel like this is not fair with the owners, this and that, whatever. But quite honestly, I feel, me personally, I was with players getting their money, but the problem is that with them getting their money has created a sense of entitlement and laziness. So now I feel like if owners get the power back, the players are going to have to work harder now, in a sense, if they're going to make the product better. Jay says Chris Paul didn't speak until LeBron, which raises a lot of flags. Oh, yeah.
Good point.
Chris Paul ain't no damn leader. He's a follower. He's a banana boat buddy of LeBron James. We know LeBron, he's quote unquote more than an athlete, but like I said, this ain't a personal attack against LeBron, even though his fanboys will say it is, but he is a fake activist. He's just a puppet. He says things on Twitter, but you never really see him out there. So let's just get it point blank. People are praising him for the quote unquote speaking on issues. I'm going to say it again. This is why Michael Jordan didn't speak, because if he did, he would look like a damn idiot if he did. He has no clue on politics. That's why Michael didn't speak and focused on basketball. Because if he tried to sound intelligent, he would sound like a fool. That's it. But the problem is the fanboys don't want to understand that. They act like LeBron's doing. I'm telling you right now, folks, LeBron is hurting more than helping the black community. And you guys are choosing not to see it. But one day you will. One day. Because when he retires, even though, like I said, we're talking about Ime Udoka, but like I said, LeBron is another player who LeBron fanboys should watch out, because when he retires, the dirt that they're going to come on him, you guys will not be ready for it. And you guys will be crying every day and saying, you think LeBron's hated now? Wait until he retires. Wait. There will be people coming out of the woodworks, coming out with dirt. They are going to be coming out with the dirt. And you guys emotionally will not be ready for it. I'm telling you right now. Because it happened with Kobe. It's still happening with Kobe, and he's dead. It's still happening with Kobe, and he's not here.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's going to make it sound like if I'm a hater, but no, I'm speaking facts. It's still happening now, and you're going to see when it comes out. You guys are not going to be ready for it.
Here's what.
Go ahead, Jim.
I'm sorry for butting in. I want to add something about LeBron. Okay, I respect LeBron off the court, but when it comes to basketball and politics, he can be a little bit. He's a great player, but I'm saying when it comes to basketball and politics, he can be a little bit sneaky. Off the court, he's a good guy, good father, but when it comes to basketball and politics, he can be a little bit sneaky. And like you said, LeBron's a smart guy, but he's not all that intelligent when it comes to politics. In fact, the NBA is too political today. Back in the old day, it always focused on the game. Ever since like the mid 2010s, it's been too political, especially in the 2020 bubble.
I wouldn't even say the mid 2010s. I would say this early part of the 2010s have been very political. We could go back to, I'm about to say like 2012, 2013, around there. Like
Right.
what happened with, you know, Trayvon Martin. I remember that. We have the Tamir Rice situation that happened in 2014 when LeBron went back to Cleveland because it happened in Cleveland, but he, I had no issue with LeBron saying like I can't speak on it because I don't really have the factual evidence. I'm fine with that. But it's pretending that you have evidence, and then when new evidence come out and you're completely wrong, he doesn't get held accountable for it. As a matter of fact, he just kind of skates on by. Nobody says anything. Nobody reports anything, and it's all good. But like I said, when it comes to LeBron, what I criticize him is what he does on the court. And I've said it before, he's not a politician. He does not have good political takes. And it's one thing to have an opinion, but if your opinion doesn't make any sense
Or it
at
just
all,
sounds stupid and ridiculous. No one has to respect or honor it. I respect your right to have your opinion, but I don't have to respect and honor the opinion itself. Like you said, there's no logic, there's no context, there's no facts. You have a right to speak it, and people have the right to either to listen to it or not.
right. And so going back to what you were saying, G Money, the NBA at one point was great and ratings were high because they never mix the NBA with politics.
Yep.
That's why a lot of people were like, they love the game the way it was because politics were not involved. If you look at now, especially what's happened with the pandemic, with the Black Lives Matter, it's taken a lot of fans' interest away from the game. That's the problem. With politics, it's taken away the interest of fans from the game. And quite honestly, ratings have they've been dropping alarmingly. And I don't know what Adam Silver is going to do, but some of his, I don't know. I thought that being under David Stern, and I'm no big fan of David Stern, but I
He
would
was
have
a
thought
better commissioner than Adam Silver. Let's be honest, he was.
that he would have learned some things from David Stern on what and what not to tinker with. But yet he's tried all of these different ideas. I mean, to the point that now you have Western and Eastern Conference MVPs.
Play-in tournament. Like, why? In-season tournament coming up in 2023, 2024 year. Why? Next year, there'll be a Christmas. Watch, Lou. Next year, there'll be a Christmas MVP. Like, geez, there'll be a Halloween MVP. Come on, man. We don't need any of these gizmo tournaments. Like, what's the purpose? And even now, you also had team captains in All-Star games. We loved East versus West. Do that. Go back to East versus West and regular game. We don't need a target score. And the play-in tournament. If you really think about it, Lou, and I want you to think about it. The 82-game regular season is kind of like an 82-game play-in tournament, if you know what I mean. Because the purpose of you to win 82 games to get yourself to the playoffs. If you can't win enough games to get to the top 8, why do you deserve 2 more chances? It's not fair. For the 7 to 8 seeds, it's not fair.
What some people are gonna say. They're gonna say, well, if you look at a team like the '86 Bulls, they went into the playoffs with winning 30. Winning 30 games. You know what? I agree, and then I also disagree at the time because the bottom of the East was pretty weak in the '80s. The top of the East was actually pretty strong. It was stronger. Yep. The East was actually stronger from the first to about the 5th or 6th seed. It was weaker once you got to the bottom, especially the teams that were missing the playoffs. And you have to also remember, we have 30 teams in the NBA today. There was, I think, when Jordan played in the early part of the 80s to the mid 80s, it was about, I think it was 23 to about 26 teams. So it hadn't been the full 30 yet, which is another thing. But, that's something else. But, yeah, I don't know what's happened to this great game, but it's It's not the game that my thing is. I don't expect the game to be what it once was in terms of playing exactly the way that it was.
Agreed.
But at the same time, because I get it, the game evolves and the game changes. But what I don't like is I really don't like the fact that players are speaking on things that they have no idea about. I don't
Agreed.
like the fact that players are reading statements, but they really don't care about the situation. Like it never, like you could just tell when they read, it's like they're just reading just to read it. It's not really they're reading it because they feel bad for the person or they know what's going on. It's no, they they're just doing
Mhm.
it just to do it, just to do it. And quite honestly, this is the reason why people are not watching. You leave the politicians to the politicians when they report these stories. And look, the ESPN at one point, the four-letter network, at one point, they were about covering the sport at one time when they called themselves
Facts.
the worldwide leader in sports. It was professional. There was true journalism. There
Mhm.
was true objectivity. Maybe some people weren't, but like I said, it was more objective back then than it is now. Everything is about soap opera. Everything is about drama. Everything is about making headlines for the wrong reasons. It's like I'm watching a soap opera and I'm not watching basketball. It's
Agreed.
I want to watch football, I want to watch baseball, I want to watch basketball. It's about the game. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Still David Stern, I was not the biggest fan of, and there were many times I could not stand him. But Adam Silver is going to kill the NBA. He's going to kill this league.
He doesn't. I don't think he knows the game. I don't think Adam Silver knows the game. To be
Adam
honest.
Silver has no backbone. See, David Stern had certain players that he catered to, but there were players that he would be like, he would just say put the stop and just wouldn't allow the BS to happen. With
Mhm.
Adam Silver, almost everybody's a pushover, and he lets the players control the asylum. This is part of the reason why you look at a guy like Ben Simmons. He's been going on podcasts talking about, you know, how he's a great defender. How I'm like, that's great and all, but you turn the ball over in the playoffs a lot because you're
Mhm.
limited offensively. And then in big moments, you're constantly passing the ball when people need you the most. I was like, this is part of the reason that the Sixers weren't winning. It's because you are a liability. You have to give the ball up because your game is really attacking the basket,
Yep.
especially in transition. You
Yep.
cannot shoot to extend the defense. The defense can just pack the paint if they want to, if they want to focus on you.
And you can't shoot free throws neither.
You can't shoot free throws neither. And like I said, you cough the ball up a lot.
Yep. 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 And to me, his worst playoff series ever was against the Hawks. Look, Ben is a decent player. He's athletic. He can pass. He can rebound. He's a good player. But like you said, Lou, he lacks Ben Simmons. How can I describe baby? How can I describe Ben? Baby Ben. The dude lacks toughness. He lacks heart, man. How do you get outplayed by Kevin Herter in Game 7? What the hell? You get your lunch money taken up by Kevin Herter in a Game 7 in your own house with a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals. The year in 2018, you score one more point than Lou and me in Game 2 against the Seas. Come on, man! Like he can't shoot free throws. He can't shoot the ball. Period. He's scared to take a jump shot, and he's not accountable of anything. The dude whines too much. Now he wants to talk about him passing up an open dunk to give it to Matisse Thybulle in a Game 7. Come on, man. And Thybulle went out to at the foul line after that. Come on, Ben. You got to be more aggressive and assertive. You got to want it.
All right. Jay says in the chat, he says, Silver knows business. Was that guy with Stern? Doing business with the wrong people is going to kill your business. And he was basically also saying he was going to kill the league with the overseas dealings. And overseas, we know what we're talking about. starts with the letter C. And I'm just going to leave it at that because don't want to get into too much of that because that's also part of the reason why. And they don't care. They're getting their money from they're getting money from that country over there that starts with the letter C, which is the reason why they don't really care.
Mhm.
As long as they're getting money from over there, it's fine. Because as the face of the league, the cash cow said, everybody's money could be effective, and he's talking about the players. But that the face of the league basically said, as long as it does, basically what he was cryptically saying is, as long as it doesn't affect my money, I'm fine. I can
Mhm.
honestly care less. And that's the thing that people fail to understand. They fail to understand that at the end of the day, this is a business. It will always start and end as a business. I really don't know what this league is going to become, but I just know that it's not good. It's not going to be good. I don't like where the league is going. I hate the fact that a lot of these players are entitled. Yo, shout out to Anonymous. Appreciate you coming on through. What's up?
Salute.
Long
Salute.
time no see. Um, yeah, it's with the Phoenix Suns owner and now Ime. It's very very frustrating. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating.
Especially the two teams that were just NBA Finals runner-ups, two teams that were 2 wins away from bringing glory and hope to their cities and bringing that Larry or B. 2 wins away.
And look at that. Training camp is about to start next week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Training camp is about to start next week, and what's crazy is that I know the Warriors are going to have their opening night and they're going to get their championship rings, but quite honestly, it's not even it's not even really going to be
It's
it's
against
really
them.
not going to it's not going to hold that much importance because right now it's all about Udoka right now.
Udoka, yeah, first Sarver, now Udoka. What's next? And also, they're playing against the bum Angeles Lakers. Yeah, good luck with that if you're a Laker fan watching that BS. Good luck. If I were you, watch a movie. Don't watch that because the Golden State Warriors are gonna them. Yep, that's what they
Yeah.
do.
It's just crazy. Anonymous says that he hears Devin Booker quite possibly might be traded. I didn't
I
hear
don't think
about
that's
that.
gonna happen. I don't buy into all these rumors. I don't think Book's getting traded. I just don't see it because Phoenix gave him the extension. They gave him a contract extension during the summer. Because yeah, they gave him the contract extension during the summer. I just don't see D Book leaving the Valley of the Sun. They gave him the 4 year contract extension July 9th. So I don't think the Suns are gonna trade. I just don't see it.
Yo, shout out to my boy Rio. He says, salute
You
y'all. This situation is just tank the Celtics forever, seeing title chances for the next couple of years. Yeah. Situation is just yeah. Nah. You're speaking facts.
probably.
Because it kind of reminds me of that time that Michigan got that penalty for that scandal and how they weren't able to go into the tournament for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me that kind of vibe. It gives me that kind of vibe, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what's gonna happen because are the Celtics gonna have to clean house from top? Because I know they're gonna be cleaning house with the players after this. They're going to.
Probably, yeah. Don't and remember Jalen Brown's a free agent soon. Jalen Brown's a free agent. Don't be surprised if he bounces.
Yeah, I just don't know. Listen, I know a lot of people have their feelings towards Celtics fans in terms of like how they kind of treat, some of the players, whether they're their own team or opposing players. But I'm just wondering what they're thinking right now because it's just not going to feel the same knowing that you got to try to move on, go into a basketball game, knowing that you got a head coach who helped your team get to the finals when they weren't
Mhm.
predicted to go there. all of a sudden now dealing with a guy who possibly might be considered well, they're going to call him a lot of things, and you know that this isn't the end. They're going to have more details coming out. So these are the questions that I want you guys to leave with, ladies and gentlemen. You got to ask yourself, were there issues between Nia and Ime right before this situation happened? Who is the mistress in the Celtic organization that works there that Ime broke company policy with? Is she possibly white? Because apparently they thought it was a black woman, but that black woman, Allison Feaster, I think is her name is. She has apparently had no involvement. Then we have Lynch, who is married and has 3 kids, is the wife of the VP, Patrick Lynch. They thought that it was possibly her, but we still don't know who the woman is. But the only thing that we do know is that a Celtic starter snitched on Ime to Nia. That's all we know. The question now is that we also know that the husband found out who Ime was messing with through the conversation. So that person knows who it is. And this isn't good for Ime, because now if multiple women are being put here, guess what? You can have a long list of women all of a sudden. This is kind of going the Deshaun Watson route in a sense, if you think about it, because now you're gonna have you got all these possible women suspects, because it's weird. Brad Stevens said no one is going to be punished other than Ime. The girl should be punished, but her name hasn't come out.
Right.
And my thing is, what woman possibly could come out and basically say that? You see, this is why Ime is really dumb for this, because now any woman could come out and claim that he had a consensual relationship with. A woman could come out and say that Ime is the baby daddy of somebody. A woman could come out and say Ime verbally and physically assaulted me. This is the situation he put himself in.
I have to come from a finals appearance. Like, come on. You got to keep your things to yourself, Udoka. You got to be smart here, okay? You can't put yourself and your team at risk by having sexual relations with other staff members. You can interact, that's fine, but you don't need to, do the boom boom. You don't need to to do the extracurricular stuff. He should have just kept it on. He should have kept it on the down low and just watch what he did. And if you're the Celtic organization, okay, I look at both sides. I understand why they suspended him. I don't know. Look, if it's rape, he should be fired. If it's rape, heaven forbid. If it's not, I don't think he should be gone for a year. It could have been like the All-Star game and the baby would have came back. I mean, like a fine.
I mean, like I said, man, I just feel like that it's gonna be real bad for Udoka. It's gonna be really bad. If the woman hasn't been revealed yet, and it's potential more than one woman, I'm sorry. It's gonna be a bad look, because now, like I said, there could be young head coaches right now looking for an opportunity to become a full-time head coach in the NBA, and they're not gonna get it because Udoka got fired. Udoka is gonna get terminated for whatever information that is gonna be held up. It's gonna leave a black mark. And like I said, you're gonna hear Stephen A. Snitch. He's gonna bring racism somehow into it. When, like I said, this had to do with a man, and it's possibly gonna be tied anyway, because again, like I said before, Ime is with Nia, both black, couple, fiancés, engaged. Problem is, the person that he possibly might have been messed with is of a different race. And obviously, a lot of people are connecting it to white. So you know that it's going to be a black versus white We know where this is going, people. And on top of that, we have the feminists. You know they're gonna come and attack. I already know, like I said, where this is headed. Let me look at the comment section real quick.
Okay.
Jay says Ime is crazy. Nia still got it. I mean, Nia wins. Again, feminist. She wins. And we already know the issue with the whole black women thing. That's another issue. Anonymous says Hield and whoever that center is for the Pacers, is equal
Miles
to money.
Turner.
Yeah, Miles Turner. Yeah, we know. To Westbrook, Jeannie Buss is not in a rush to make these moves due to LeBron AD going so hard last season for Westbrook. Here's the thing also, they do not want to give up those picks for 2027 and 2029. That's a reason why they're not going hard for Hield and Turner. But like I said before, my thing is that I don't know why people are so going crazy for this, because Buddy Hield may be a three-point shooter and he may shoot the three ball very well, but he's very streaky and he's not a good defensive player. So is he really the answer for you? I don't know. And then Miles Turner, he hasn't really lived up to his potential.
True.
What makes me think all of a sudden that he's going to be this great player for the Lakers and gives them exactly what they need? Yeah, he could block shots, don't get me wrong.
And
Like I
he's
said,
athletic too.
Miles Turner has talent, but he hasn't lived up to what he should be in Indiana. He's been a disappointment. And for those of you who are saying that, who might be thinking, "Oh man, you're just saying that because you don't want LeBron and them to get them," I was like, "Yo, can y'all stop with the LeBron loving, please, and really understand?" I'm talking from a basketball sense.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lakers really wanted those two, they would have pushed for it. The problem is the Pacers want those picks, and the Lakers are not willing to give it up. That's the bottom line.
So they're stuck with Westbrook for a while. They'll be stuck with him for a while.
Because the problem is Westbrook played so bad, and he has $47 million on the table. Even if he is an expiring contract, what team is going to take Russell Westbrook? See, the only way that they can salvage this, Russ is going to have to play out of his mind to where they'll think that he actually has some value. Because last year, they tried to trade him by the All-Star break. Do people forget that? And they couldn't find
the Rockets didn't want to take him. Not even the Rockets didn't want to take him.
Not even the worst teams in the NBA wanted Westbrook. Because they know what type of person he is. They already know what type of game he brings, and it's not gonna be enough. And the thing is, they saw Russ's personality and they saw him in the post-game shows. They show it.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another thing that people are missing. I'm sorry, but didn't Russell Westbrook wear dresses not once but twice? And do you really think that a guy who's married and has 3 kids would sell his soul the way he did? And I've always said that I've always questioned Russ's fashion sense, but he wants to come out here and cry about the name Westbrook and all this, but you out here dressing like a female on more than one occasion, and you expect me to have respect for you. Do you expect me to have respect for you? No. Because this should be about Westbrook's play, but it goes away.
Westbrook is a great talent. He has talent. He's athletic, he can pass, rebound. But have you noticed ever since he left OKC, his mid-range shot has been gone? He's never been a good three-point shooter. But have you noticed his mid-range shot has just been gone ever since he left OKC?
Listen, at one point, didn't mean to cut you off. I mean, because I was going to connect it. Because at one point, Russell had probably the best elbow jumper in the NBA. At one point, Russell was one of the better free throw shooters in the NBA. He's lost
80+%, yeah.
Part of the reason is Russell does not really work on his skills. He just relies on his athleticism. And the problem is when you rely on your athleticism for so long and your athleticism starts to go away, what other things can you go to? Russell Westbrook doesn't really have a lot that he can go to, especially with the fact that his free throw shooting has went down damn near 20%.
It's plummeted.
From the time that he was shooting in the mid-80s at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, with his elbow jumper, we know he's a volume scorer with the type of shots he takes. They're not the best shots, but I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with it as well. It's that Russell's just a poor decision maker in the playoffs. He can lead you to the playoffs. The whole triple-double thing has become so overrated It's not. It's not even funny. Not even funny how overrated that thing has become. He got praised for it, and I blame the media for that. They praised the triple doubles, and because he played so bad, then the media was like, "Oh yeah, but you know, we overlooked. He fooled us into thinking that he was that good with the triple doubles." I said, "But you guys are the one that deserve the blame because you put him on such a pedestal that when he played bad, look how easily y'all brought him down. Look how easily." And like I said, part of it, obviously this is Russ's own accord, but the thing is, you guys were just
Overreacting.
petting Russ and giving him all these great compliments. Russ is great. Russ is a great talent. I said this before. Talent. He's not a great player. He's a great talent, but not a great player.
He was a great
Great
player early
player.
in his career, and now he's just more of a great talent.
No, he was a great talent, always. He never showed me the ability to be a great player. I thought he did, but I was fooled. And part of the reason is because Russ has never learned to adapt. He's never learned to really understand and really improve his IQ. He's never really tried to slow the game down. He continues to go at 120 miles an hour, thinking that that style of play is going to suit him and last forever. That's his problem. He doesn't like being told no. He doesn't like people telling him what to do. He feels like he holds himself accountable, but he really doesn't.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
That's
And
the
another
problem.
right, and another thing too, and this relates to us. Did you know CBS Sports ranked Westbrook 98th? You can check. Wow.
I did. I mean, but quite honestly, you have to understand that these networks, they're going to rank a player sometimes out of emotion for what they see. But like I said, in order for Russ to salvage his season, he has to play with the second unit. He's not a
Yeah.
starter. Patrick Beverly is the better fit,
Mhm.
and his mindset will change the culture of LA to actually play some goddamn defense. AD needs to be healthy.
Same thing with LeBron, both because they're both injury prone.
Yeah. Let me see. Jay says the possible cap space from Russ expiring is worth more than Hield's contract. Let me see. Pro athletes and coach sign a clause in their contract when they aren't where they aren't allowed to date or have private relationships with females who are a part of the team. Well, he did sign it. He just broke it. So did the private person. These clauses were made so players don't get involved with cheerleaders. But that's what happened. He got involved with a cheerleader in the organization. The only rumored player I would take a flyer on who made considerable money that isn't an expiring contract is Malik Beasley. He's a good player.
He can shoot the ball. He can stroke it, and he can fly to the rim sometimes. He was nice for the T-Wolves. Yeah.
I remember this quote. As Jay says, don't dip your pen in the company ink. Facts.
Yeah.
Considerable amount of money. Anonymous says Buddy Hield could be a Danny Green kind of player for the Lakers. Buddy Hield had the same vibe coming out of college as Rudy Gay, and both are best coming off the bench.
But Danny Green was a lockdown defender, though. Buddy Hield can shoot. Don't get us wrong, but Danny Green was a bloodhound on D in the perimeter.
Which Buddy Hield has never been and probably never will be.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, though, if he comes out and surprises on defense. I mean, hey, J.R. Smith had the talent to be a good defender, but he was kind of lazy on defense. But he actually improved his defense when he went to Cleveland. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Anonymous also says Russ on a team with no help. Russ will average a triple double. We got the Thunder Westbrook, not the Westbrook that played for the Rockets.
This is an old. I mean, Westbrook is good, but it's an older Westbrook now. This isn't prime Westbrook in 2017.
You didn't even get Thunder Westbrook. That's the crazy part. You didn't even get Thunder Westbrook. I mean, his numbers weren't that bad. 18, 7, and 7, considering he's playing with LeBron and AD.
Mm-hmm.
His turnovers were down, but that was late in the season because he was turning that ball like crazy in the beginning. But he did tone his turnovers down, but that still didn't excuse his bad play. He still was playing horrible.
He just doesn't feel LeBron AD. He's a talented player, but he can't. He, like you said, he can't work with superstars. He's a great talent, but he just can't work with superstars.
Russ is too ball dominant. LeBron is ball dominant. Trying to do a LeBron system for a player, Russ can't play with LeBron and AD in the lineup. I think he actually has better chemistry with Anthony Davis than he does with LeBron. That's my personal opinion. But I think Russ has to
I
play
agree
with
with
the
that.
second unit. I think so
I
that
agree.
he doesn't the finger pointing doesn't go around. This is why Anthony Davis gets a pass. You know why Anthony Davis gets a pass? Because Anthony Davis won a title. That's why he gets a pass.
Yeah.
He's won a title. Whether it's the bubble title or not,
A ring is
AD
a
gets
ring.
a pass. Mr. Glass gets a pass because he's won a championship. That's why.
And he was actually durable. I mean, 80's always been injury prone, but 80 was actually durable that year in 2020. He actually was.
But let's also remember why, because he's always been injury prone. And the reason he was able to be durable, which I think he wasn't going to last as long as he did, but that huge break did wonders for
4 month
AD.
break.
All right, let's see. Buddy Hield is a minus player averaging 20 mil for 2 seasons, gives up more than he gets. Russ's mid-range game left while he was at OKC. Jay says 6-man may finally happen. No, I think it's going to happen. Unless if
Probably.
Russ decides to try to fight for his starting job and thinks he's still a starter. He's not. He's a 6-man at this point. I don't think he's a starter. I also hear Cam Reddish is a possibility for the Lakers. Another rumor is
It's Mike
this
Conley.
3-team trade, which has Mike Conley in it. I got to say this with Mike right now. Mike Conley would not be a good picker for the Lakers neither because he's injury prone. I was a Mike Conley fan. I thought Mike Conley was going to be one of those underrated players. He at one time was underrated, but the problem is he's too injury prone, and the few times that he's been in the playoffs, you can't rely on him.
Inconsistent as heck.
Can't. Kind of reminds me of Kemba in a sense. Anonymous is making my point for Russ is a 6-man on a championship caliber team. Yep, I've said this many times. Russ is not your number 1 on a championship team. Russ ain't even a Robin on a championship team. He's a 6-man.
6-man.
He's a 6-man. He's a 6-man. Anonymous says, I'm not a Russ fan, and I am a huge UCLA fan. Gotta say this, how my Bruins are 4-0 in football and not ranked is BS. Well, shout out to your Bruins being 4-0. Jay says Mike Conley's contract isn't worth trading Russ for. He went 0 in the playoffs versus a Luka-less Mavs team. Facts.
To a
Why
team
am I going
that
to trade?
go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
To a team that you can argue the Jazz were better than. Without Luka, you can argue the Jazz were the better team. He still choked. How do you lose to Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie, Maxi Kleber, Reggie Bullock, and Vinny Smith? Come on.
Well, Mike Conley is just like how you sum up the Utah Jazz. You know they ain't going to do shit when it matters.
Yeah.
You know.
And
that's right. Thank you for mentioning that, Jay. He still has $14 million guaranteed on his contract because he had that what was it, $130 or was it $140 million deal that he's still on?
Let me check Mike Conley's contract. Let me see. Mike Conley, let's see. Right now, Mike Conley is making around $23 million. I have his contract right now. He's making $23 million next year.
That's unbelievable. What was I gonna say? Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention this. Thank you for those who have been subscribing to my channel. I've had a couple of videos that I've put up. Let me just say this. I want to give a huge thank you to all of those who commented on the Kobe video that I put out a few months ago. It's called The Mindset of Kobe Bryant, and I put that. So Malika Andrews, if you're listening out there, quite honestly, Game 78 was when Kobe tore his Achilles trying to drive on Harrison Barnes, and he was on the left side of the floor. I can remember it like it was yesterday. And the worst part about it is the crazy part about that video is it's a short video, so it's not long. Let me say this out there, but I want to say this. I want to say a huge thank you to all of my subs, for those who have subscribed, and to my supporters. I've always said this: without you, there is no me.
Mm-hmm.
That video has over 4.5 million, close to 4.5 million views. 4.5 million views almost. So I want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And
Yep.
also at the same time, I'm nearing 8,000 subscribers. I didn't think
Yes.
I'd get to this point this fast, but I want to thank to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel and showing support on those short videos. I definitely appreciate it. I mean, that's definitely all I really could say. At the same time, also, if you guys have Twitter, I have a new Twitter account. So just click on my channel art on my YouTube page, and you'll be able to get that. My PayPal and Cash App are there too if you want to donate to the channel. Also, my Instagram is also there if you want to get my Instagram info and you want to also follow me on Instagram. You'll be able to click on there. All of those are on my channel art on my page. By the way, I want you also let me know what you guys think of the channel art as well. I have me on there, so I kind of changed it up, give it a little bit of a different look. I got MJ, Aaron Judge, and I got Jonathan Taylor in the background, and I got obviously Roman Reigns. You already know what it is. So but definitely appreciate you guys for the support. Thank you so much. We're gonna be back doing more videos. Just apologize for how busy it's been. It's been crazy, but I'm gonna be back on here. You already know. Gonna be back doing some football. The baseball playoffs are gonna be coming up soon.
It'll be nice, yeah.
And obviously the NBA season's about to start. I might even do some preseason games, even though it's preseason. But got to get back into the thick of things. I got to figure out this new streaming service to get how to wait. I'm using it right now, but I got to figure out how this thing works. Hopefully they can update it to where it could work.
And preseason begins on Thursday. Just want to throw it out there. Preseason begins on Thursday.
Okay. Anonymous says, so his contract is guaranteed next year? Okay. Thanks for the clarification. A year beyond Russ's expiring contract. Okay. Because Russ's is this year. Anonymous says all drafted Luka and the Mavs drafted Trey, and they switched. Luka is a Kobe, LeBron, MJ caliber player. Trey is a Carmelo Anthony caliber type player. What do you mean by he is a Kobe, LeBron, and MJ type player? If you're saying LeBron, it's really more so of play style, because Luka kind of plays LeBron in terms of that way. But the thing is, I've seen James Harden play that way. I've seen Russell Westbrook play that way too. So, there's that. I don't really see the MJ and Kobe. I really don't see that because their games don't really, especially because Kobe and Mike, they definitely were faster than Luka. Luka's
and more athletic too.
Obviously more athletic. I just hate that they compare Luka to Larry Bird, because there's no comparison, especially because Larry Bird was more efficient than Luka Doncic. But I will say Luka does have real good efficient numbers in the playoffs, though. I will say
he improved. He improved. Luka did his best. And congrats, Lou, on your 8,000 subscribers. I want to throw my congratulations. You're an amazing YouTuber, awesome YouTuber. You know your stuff. Great friend. And two, Luka Doncic, he is a star. He is a star. He's an underrated passer, can post up in the block.
Yeah, he
good
is.
mid-range shooter. He needs to be more consistent from three. He's kind of streaky from three, but Luka really in the playoffs, he's a bad dog. My only thing I want Luka to work on is his fourth quarter numbers, because he is kind of streaky in the fourth quarter. But other than that, Luka is a beast, man. And I'm in the future, if the Mavs can just add a few more pieces around Luka might carry that Larry O'B someday.
Okay. Anonymous says Chauncey Billups made a statement recently saying that if the Pistons drafted Melo instead of Darko, the Pistons squad would have probably won 5 more championships. Well, that's a hypothetical. I won't say 5. I mean, I will say that Detroit was kind of becoming the best team in the East at that time. It was New Jersey right up until 2004, but I would I'm sorry. I can't. Listen, I will say this, though. If Melo was drafted to the Pistons, definitely would have been different in terms of the fact that
they would have beat the Spurs in 5.
They would have gave a go. they would have had a go-to scorer with
Right.
that. Melo would have been much more disciplined under Larry Brown. And it's funny because he was coached by Jim Boeheim, who is a very good coach.
Right.
And if you look at the tournament that Melo had when he won most outstanding player in the tournament when he won the national title with Syracuse, people were comparing him to Larry Bird with the way he was playing. So
Yeah.
if he had that type of game, you get coached by Larry Brown right away, and you're playing with Chauncey, Rip. You're playing with Ben Wallace. You already have Tayshaun Prince. You have Mehmet Okur. You have Lindsey Hunter. Like, it just lets you know that, you definitely would have been something.
Thanks.
Um,
They would have won in 05. If they would have won in 05, you have Melo. They would have beat the Spurs. I don't know if they would be in the Heat in 06, though. I don't know. But they would have won in 05. They would have went back-to-back with Melo.
quite possibly. We'll never know. Jay says, are you saying that Luka is Batman and Trey is more of a Robin? LeBron has made more last-minute shots and is more clutch in the playoffs than Kobe and LeBron.
Kobe and MJ meant to say. LeBron is clutch.
Kobe and MJ. I see.
LeBron is clutch. I do agree he is clutch in the playoffs. He's had some monster clutch moments, but I don't know if he's more clutch than Kobe and MJ. But he is clutch, though.
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to that clutch topic, the problem is it depends on what you're grading the scale on clutch on. Because the problem is, I've seen all three fan bases cherry pick clutch stats to make it seem that one is more clutch than the other two. And quite honestly, you have to look deep into the numbers. Here's the thing: it takes more than game winners to be clutch. I've seen LeBron fans use that argument to say LeBron is more clutch than Jordan and Kobe because he has more than they do, but it's not even that. That's a sample size. Or they'll say that Kobe's got 36 game winners combined with the regular season and the postseason, which makes him the most clutch over Jordan and LeBron. And it's like, you can't do that neither because, again, you have to look at the numbers. You got to look deep. People cherry pick to favor one player over the other. It's a lot deeper than that. It's what did you do in the last 24 seconds? What did you do in the last minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes of the game?
And clutch is more than just offense. It's also defense, too. It's more than just offense.
And clutch is, you're looking at one end of the floor. It's more than that, too. So, like I said, the stats get cherry picked a lot when it comes to those, man.
And Anonymous, if we're going by the logic, right, that LeBron's more clutch because he has more game-winning shots, I'll give you an example, right? DJ Augustin has a game-winning shot against the Toronto Raptors in 2019. Steph Curry has 0 clutch shots. Is DJ Augustin more clutch than Steph Curry by your logic because he has more game-winning shots? No. I mean, LeBron's clutch.
Hold on. I got to stop it there. Kobe, hold on. When you say Kobe never made the big shot in the playoffs, it's not true.
That's
he had a go-ahead basket against the Phoenix Suns in the 2000 playoffs.
Game 2.
He put the Lakers up by 3 in 2000 in Game 4 of the Finals. You have the 2006 shot that he hit against the Phoenix Suns in Game 4, and remember, in regulation, he had the game-time basket, and then he had the game winner in the same game in overtime. So there's that.
He also hit a big shot against the Nuggets in Game 3 to get the Lakers to lead up by 1. The big 3, 2009 Game 3.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, there's quite a few, and the thing is, a lot of Kobe's really weren't. The only real playoff buzzer beater he hit was against Phoenix, but he's had a lot of go-ahead baskets. You have, like I said, you got to look deep into the numbers, and that's with all three players. Like, I'm not sitting here saying that LeBron isn't clutch. He is. LeBron is clutch. Jordan is clutch, and Kobe's actually clutch. There's actually numbers to prove that he is. Quite honestly, the difference is that if you look at NBA Finals moments when it comes to clutch play. Also, you have that game-tying 3 that Kobe hit in 2004 in Game 2. That was the only thing that he really had, honestly. But, it's a lot more than that, man.
He also had a big basket in Game 3 against the Sixers, that big bucket. Also, He had some monster clutch. He also had a big time putback against the Spurs 2002 Game 4 to give the Lakers the lead, the big putback, etc. Yeah.
Because, like I said, in order to define clutch, you have to look at total factors. You have to look at, like I said, the last 5 minutes of the game, last 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 24 seconds, 55 seconds, 40 seconds, last second. All of those factor in. Game winners alone is not going to make you a clutch player.
It's
Game
not
winners alone is not. You
right.
can't
It's
cherry
not a
pick
good
that
argument. Yeah. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Lou. I agree with you. Yes, LeBron's hit more big time shots than MJ and Kobe. I can't say more big time shots. I said more last minute shots than Kobe and MJ. Doesn't mean he's more clutch. If your argument's game winning shot, I just gave you the DJ Augustine Steph Curry example. DJ Augustine has a game winning shot against the Raptors game 1 2019. Steph Curry doesn't have a game winning shot. Is DJ Augustine more clutch than Steph Curry by your logic?
Yeah, like I said, we could go. Trust me, we can go on and on with that. Quite honestly, yeah, but we're not talking. Here's the thing, though. But you're talking something different. You're talking about that Kobe won 3 titles with Shaq, but we're not talking about
And he
that. We're
won
talking
twice
about,
without Shaq. What's your point?
but we're not even talking about that. We're talking about you're saying who's more clutch. That's what you were saying because that's what the argument is about.
Mm-hmm. It's more than just game winning shot. What about defensive stops? What about steals? What about that? MG had the steal on Karl Malone game 6, 1998, and hit the game winning shot after that. That's clutch. Not only offensively, but defensively too.
You know what though? I like this right here because it said LeBron never been a number 2 to anyone. That's true. Kobe won 3 titles on Shaq's back, and LeBron had done something Kobe and MJ had never done. LeBron won a title with Phil Jackson. That's very true. Here's my counter. What other player has Phil coached when it comes to superstars other than Kobe, Shaq, Jordan, and then an all-star in Scottie Pippen? Because if you look at Phil's career,
And also in Rodman too. When I add him too.
if you want to add Dennis Rodman, he's never coached any other players other than that. At least with Pat Riley, he's coached different players at the very least, which is why I feel, in my opinion, that Pat Riley is the greatest coach ever. That's
Yeah,
just
that's the
me.
case. And I want to throw it out there. Didn't Kobe lead the playoffs in fourth quarter scoring 2009 and 2010 too? You gotta count that. That means something.
Anonymous says Kobe has never carried a team.
That's a
Look,
lot. That's disrespectful and wrong. That's a lie.
oh, look, I'm not gonna get into that in terms of look. If you're trying to say that Kobe's overrated, I've already said that. I've already based my opinion on why I got Kobe out of the top 10. I've already did that. And like I said before, you have to also consider this too. Kobe played his entire career in the Western Conference. It's not like Kobe played in the East. Kobe played his entire 20-year career in the West. Whereas LeBron, most of his career was in the Eastern Conference. He was in the Eastern Conference for 15 years. He's about to enter his 5th season. It's crazy. He's about to enter his 5th season with the Lakers, which is crazy. How many finals has Kobe made without Phil Jackson and after Shaq and before Powell? Well, here's the thing. Why are people trying to discredit Kobe because he played with Pau Gasol? Pau Gasol is not as dominant as Shaq.
He was
I'll give
traded
you-
there.
I'll give you Shaq. Because
True.
the thing is, quite honestly, Shaq also didn't win without Phil Jackson. If we're going to say that about Kobe, you got to say that about Shaq too.
Technically, 2006 he kind of did though, and with
No, I'm saying, 2006, but I'm saying before Shaq started winning championships, not after. I'm saying before. Because quite honestly, Shaq was still going to be an all-time great player. But you have to also remember where you're put at when you win titles, especially finals MVP, is different. Yeah, but Shaq was not the best player on the Miami Heat at that point. I'm talking about prime Shaq before Miami. Yeah, but the thing is, you can't discredit Kobe because even though Kobe, yeah, look, I'm not going to argue. Shaq was the best player on those on the three-peat. Shaq was the best player.
By far, yes.
So I'm not arguing that at all. Shaq was the best player on in the three-peat. I said that numerous times. I'm not sitting here saying that, oh, you know, but quite honestly, if you look at Shaq, all of the championships that Shaq won were, or how he got to the finals with, he got to the finals with a 6'7" point guard in Penny Hardaway. He won a championship with Kobe and Dwayne Wade. They're two of the greatest shooting guards of all time. How did Shaq win his championships? With shooting guards. Shooting guards. So when you look at the totality of it, people are like, well, Kobe has to win. It has to be the right big man. Fine. But you could also say with Shaq, as impactful as Shaq was, how did he win his chips? All 4 of his titles were won with shooting guards. Just like how Kobe won all 5 of his championships with big men. But the difference is Wade is a top 25 shooting guard, and Kobe's arguably a top 10. No. Let me rephrase that. Dwayne Wade is a top 25 player of all time, and Kobe is arguably a top 10 player of all time. That's who Shaq played with. In Kobe's case, Kobe played with a top 10 all-time great player in Shaq and top 5 center. You can't say the same about Powell. Powell was good. Powell was good.
And Kobe carried the team in 2009 and 2010, so I don't know what he's talking about.
And the thing is, Kobe won his championships as the best player.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe proved that he could be the number one. And remember, Kobe was putting up number one numbers alongside number one Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
Anonymous says, after Shaq, before Powell, how many finals did Kobe make? Well, if you want to answer the question, he didn't make any. But my point is, where did this Kobe stuff come from is what I'm saying. Because this went from clutch to who's the better player, who's the all-time great player. And I'm not talking about all time. We were just talking about game-winning clutch shots. So I don't even know where this came from. Because quite honestly, people forget this. Powell played with some talent. He played with some talent on those Grizzly teams that Powell did not win a single playoff game, and Powell was the best player on those
3 years
Grizzly
in a
teams.
row, 04, 05, 06. 04 against the Spurs, 05 against the Suns, 06 against the Mavs. Yes.
Because quite honestly, Powell did not accomplish anything until he got traded to the Lakers. It's easy to discredit Kobe. Like I said, Powell was good. Powell was vital to those 2 chips. But Anonymous, my question is, where is all this coming from that we were talking about who was more clutch, LeBron, Kobe, or Jordan. And it went from this to now Kobe's all-time ranking in terms of how many titles did he win without Shaq and Phil, and to LeBron. I'm starting to secretly think that you're a closet LeBron fan or something.
I think he is. And if we're going by that logic, how many titles did LeBron win without Wade, Bosh, Love, Kyrie, and AD? And Eric Spoelstra and Ty Lewis head coaches by your logic. And Frank Vogel as a coach by your logic. LeBron's had good teams himself, you know?
Like I said, we could have all opinions all I want, but I'm on record as saying that LeBron is a better player than Kobe. So like I said before, I don't know where this is coming from because I'm on record as saying that, in my opinion, LeBron is a better player than Kobe. I'm saying that. People can disagree with me with what they want, is my opinion, but I'm saying that I've already been as a record as saying this. But let me make this very clear. LeBron is not a better player than Michael Jordan. He's not.
I agree with that part, yeah.
He's not. He's not. Yeah. Anthony L says that Portland team in 2000 was stacked. Shaq would have not made it to the finals with Kobe. The funny thing is that when people forget, listen to that game 7 in 2000. People forget about this too. Bill Walton said, and because he was doing commentary for that game, he was doing
with Bob Costas and Steve Snapper Jones. Yeah,
he said, "Who was the league MVP that year? Shaq. Who had the historic regular season? Shaq. Number 1 in scoring, number 2 in rebounding, number 3 in block shots." And I think he played the most minutes in the league at that time. Well, part of it was Phil trying to get him into shape. because I think Shaq was out of shape that year. But anyway, my point is that Shaq had such a legendary season. It's one of the greatest seasons of all time. The Lakers almost blew a 3-1 lead. And what Bill Walton said was this: if Shaq doesn't get it done today, everything that he would have accomplished would have gone all up in smoke. And what people forget is if Kobe doesn't play as well as he did in that game 7, despite the fact that it was Shaq's team, who was the leader of the team? Shaq. And I know that Shaq was getting double the triple. But my point, and Shaq only had 18 points and 9 rebounds in game 7. Kobe had 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. If Kobe doesn't play the way he did, the Lakers are out.
They go fishing. They go to Hawaii. They go fishing. The Blazers went to the finals, and who knows? Scottie Pippen would have had his 7th ring, or Reggie could have had his 1st ring. Who knows?
We really don't know. So,
and don't forget Game 4, 2000. Kobe took over in overtime. He had 8 points in overtime. Hit 2 big jumpers and had to put back to extend the lead to 3. If Kobe,
Anonymous says Kobe's first 3 championships, he was not the Finals MVP. I know that.
What is that?
The last championship, Shaq and Kobe, they might have split the MVP. No, Kobe had his. You know what? But this is the. Hold on. This is another thing that really kills me too. People get on Kobe by saying that his finals competition was weak. He played with Shaq. You could say the same for Shaq. That's how weak the Eastern Conference was. If you're going to say that Kobe's finals competition was weak, you have to say the same for Shaq. And the thing is, Shaq, he should dominate because the East was that weak. None of the East teams had a dominant center. And the thing is, you got to understand, by the 2000s, it was about the power forwards because the centers were starting to die off. Hakeem Olajuwon was on his way out, and he was injury prone. By that point, he was older. David Robinson was also older, and he was on his way out to retire. Like, people are forgetting about that. Alonzo Mourning became pretty much a role player, and what people forget is he had that bad kidney failure that caused him to miss a lot of the 2001 season. So the center position was pretty much dying. It really wasn't the same after that. Like, people forget that too.
And you could put any player with Shaq at that time. You could put Jordan, Carter, AI, LeBron. They may not have won those finals MVPs with Shaq at the time because Shaq was the most dominant player in the league, and you had to feed Shaq in the block.
Mm-hmm. Another thing that we have to mention is that we can't underestimate Kobe's finals run from 2008 to 2010. Like, I already know that Shaq was the best player on 3 championship teams. I know that.
Right. We know that, yeah.
This isn't new. But his run was actually really historic. Quite honestly, he had a positive net rating in all 3 of those playoffs. On top of that, Kobe's Lakers in 2010, from round 1 to round 4, were all 50-win teams. I think the 2010 Lakers, I think they, along with the 95 Rockets, are the only 2 teams to have beaten at least 4 50-win teams in one playoff run. And the funny thing is the 95 Rockets had it harder because the Jazz won 60 games, the Suns won 59 games, the Spurs had the best record in the league with 62 wins and MVP David Robinson, and then they beat that talented Magic team that knocked off Jordan's Bulls, who had won 57 games. But Kobe's Lakers, look who they beat. They beat a 50-win Jazz team. They beat a 50-win Spurs team. They beat a 54-win Suns team, and then they beat a 50-win Boston Celtics team, who you could make the case should have won 60 games that year because they got off to a great start, but the injuries, key injuries to their players, caused them to play 500 basketball the rest of the way. They started 23-5 that year, and they finished 27-27. So I say that to say this: LeBron has been that guy since day one. If Kobe was supposed to be who he became, the Hornets would have kept him. Well, the Hornets had no use for him. They traded Vlade Divac But again, that's on the Hornets though. So Kobe was 17 when he was drafted. Jerry West saw potential in him. He just needed polishing. It was Kobe's dream to play for the Lakers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we could debate who's better, LeBron or Kobe, this and that. But like I said, I already gave my reasonings for that, quite honestly. But anyway, so I am going to call an end to this stream. It is great to be back. Shout out to G Money for being a guest on the show. I got to figure this new streaming service out to make sure I don't have the issues that I did when I was trying to stream earlier with those 2 streams. So I'm going to try to cancel that other one.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to everybody. It was good to see everybody again in the chat. Appreciate you. Shout out to Anthony L, Anonymous, Jay, everybody in the chat. It is good to be back. And we are going to, hopefully, if things are good, I probably might stream on Tuesday. If not, I'm going to try to see. Well, I'm going to try to do Cowboys and Giants tomorrow. But if I can't do that tomorrow, actually, no, I'm probably not going to be able to do it tomorrow because I'm going to be out. So that's already an automatic no. But what I might be doing is I might be streaming baseball. I might be streaming baseball probably on Tuesday because I got to see if Aaron Judge is going to hit that 61 and tie Roger Maris because he's still stuck at 60.
He's still stuck at that for the past 4 games now, yeah. And the Yankees and Sox game got rained out, and the Yankees get a free win, 2-0.
So that would be that they've won 7 in a row. That's
7 in a row. They're blazing hot right now. They won 12 of the last 14 also, yeah.
Yeah, Del Harris, I tell you, man, that guy is such a clueless coach, I swear. I knew you wasn't going to, you couldn't win a championship with him. Just didn't understand the talent he had on his team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not a championship coach. So figure that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this is your boy Lewis with another one. Definitely appreciate you guys, man. Guys, show some love, share the stream. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys like the videos. Definitely appreciate you guys as always. Have a wonderful night, and we'll be back on the next one. Salute to everybody in the chat, and we'll get back on these discussions as we do, man. Appreciate it as always, man. Salute. Have a great night, and we'll be back in it, man. Make sure to like and share. Definitely appreciate y'all, man.
Smash
Much
those
love and
likes.
respect. Thank you for the close to 8,000 subs. Let's get to 10,000 subs by the end of the year, but definitely appreciate y'all, man. Salute. Have a wonderful night. We're back on the next one.
You too. Stay safe.